KwaZulu-Natal Premier Thami Ntuli launched a provincial campaign against the crime and illegal occupants of buildings in the province. Ntuli says the hijacked buildings have become havens for criminal activity and drug dens. He also encouraged municipalities to join hands in reclaiming hijacked buildings and making cities more attractive to investors. He now joins us live. Premier, very good morning to you. Thank you so much for making time for us. Tell us about the level of the concern that you have when it comes to hijacked buildings, also considering the operation that you recently had with the Provincial Police Commissioner, Nhlanhla Mkhwanazi. Is it known how many buildings have been hijacked, especially in the eThekwini CBD?
Well, good morning, Adrian, to yourself and to the viewers at home, and thank you for having me. Well, our concern as the province in KwaZulu-Natal, government of KwaZulu-Natal, is the level of crime. And part of the places wherein we find that a lot of criminal activities will take place is in the illegally occupied buildings. Hence, we, after identifying that, started a program in collaboration with the police, with the Department of Home Affairs, with the Department of Social Development, which has more than one layers, because the other main target are the factories or businesses that are employing illegal foreign nationals in the province of KwaZulu-Natal. So in eThekwini, we have many. However, we are in discussion with the Department for Public Works. The Department of Public Works is doing an analysis of the government buildings that are unoccupied, and the eThekwini Metro is also identifying the buildings which are illegally occupied, so that our campaign as the Department of Community Safety and Liaison will also be able to be used to address the illegal occupants in order to fight crime, because the main driver here is fighting crime. After the summit we had in the province of KwaZulu-Natal, we agreed that we want action, not talks. We want to walk the talk. That is why you saw us Wednesday at Mandeni around Wastebe, the factories there, wherein we were following up on the undocumented foreign nationals who are employed at the expense of the people of KwaZulu-Natal or South Africa who are looking for a job. You'll recall that the stats for unemployment was released, which was showing an increase. And then when we have businesses that are employing illegal foreign nationals at the expense of the people of the KwaZulu-Natal or South Africa, we are saying in KwaZulu-Natal we want to address that, and we want to put it to an end. As a result, we're even saying to those who employ undocumented foreign nationals, they will be arrested. Like one was arrested in one of the factories wherein we discovered that there were undocumented foreign nationals.
Yeah, and again, I just want to quickly go back to the buildings, and then we'll deal with the issue around undocumented foreign nationals. With the buildings that have been hijacked, have you been able to ascertain who the kingpins are, who are behind it? And also the other element around it is that as government, you have the power to expropriate certain buildings. Is this a decision that you are looking into, whether or not you should be expropriating some of these buildings?
Well, the owners of the buildings or the units, you find that they are legitimate at times. It's only that the issue of occupancy attracts criminal activities, also attract the undocumented foreign nationals. However, there are those that were just occupied illegally, like one of the government department buildings, which has been left unattended. There were illegal occupants, but when they heard about the operation in the morning, they evacuated, and we discovered no one inside that building. We will be following up, and on the issue of not expropriating, but in fact, making them useful for the purpose of our economy or the program that has to do with accommodation to the needy. It's a process that we have started. The MEC for Public Works and Infrastructure has been assigned to visit all the government buildings with the purpose of auditing and analyzing them so that we understand what is happening in each and every building. Already there are two that we are donating to eThekwini Metro so that they will have to repair and reuse for the municipality work. For the rest, then after receiving the report, we'll be able then to determine on the issue of the usage. Because one of the things we are saying in the province was Natal, we were saying that we cannot be having buildings which belongs to government, but at the same time we are renting, spending millions and millions of rents. So that's a discussion that we have already started, but we said we will conclude it as soon as we know exactly how many are strategically located for usage, wherein people will be able to access the offices easily, and then we'll then trigger a discussion to specific departments that are renting.
Yeah, and here's the other thing about that, Premier, is that, of course, in the CBD, the city centre, there would be a huge demand for housing because people need to live close to where they work and so forth. Although the focus here tends to be only on foreign nationals, but I'd like to believe that there are also South Africans who would want to live in the city centre and close to places of work because we know of the impact of apartheid spatial planning. What's your government's plan around increasing housing units in the city centre and city centres like eThekwini?
Yes, Adrian, I must in fact agree with you. There are those that are occupied by the people who are not undocumented foreign nationals who are legally living there. And as soon as we are able to ensure that the space is available for the people, I think that will be much better. Well, there is a plan which we have even discussed with His Worship the Mayor of eThekwini that we need to expedite issues around making housing available to the people who are actually needy. Though there are some dynamics which we have identified, the issues of EIA and the issue of land pockets availability, which then you are focusing to so that we try to accelerate the program of ensuring that people are able to get a proper accommodation when they try to find themselves closer to the areas of opportunities.
Okay. Then the issue around foreign nationals, undocumented foreign nationals especially, and the operations that you've held at various firms where you found that these firms are actually employing people that are not documented. There's an element that you also raised around exploitation and how to deal with that. But what steps are being taken against the employers, the ones who are running these firms?
Our message is clear and it's a strong message to all the businesses and the employers who are employing illegal foreign nationals or undocumented foreign nationals. That one, they will be arrested. Like at Mandeni Wastebe, the owner of a factory was arrested by the police because it is illegal to employ illegal foreign nationals. And our message to the undocumented foreign nationals is that they must go back to their countries to get a proper documentation that will allow them to be here in South Africa. Because our view is that there are foreign nationals who are here legally, who are here to present skills which are not available in our province, who are here to do business, and we welcome all of them. But we are saying for those who are here not having proper documents, they must go back to their countries to get proper documents because we don't want to be seen as being xenophobic. but we are trying to address any issue that has to do with criminal activities, because our agenda is not only targeting them, the undocumented foreign nationals, but our agenda is to address issues of crime. I think we have seen that in KwaZulu-Natal, the police under the leadership of Lieutenant General Mkwanazi, they've in fact enhanced their work, and even the society now are cooperating in terms of reporting criminal activities to the police. And we are saying that is our a fight as KwaZulu-Natal, which will only stop when there will be no criminal activities taking place.
Yeah. And also the other issue around something like this, of course, is the pressure that it puts on public services, including health as well as water and sanitation. Are you able to speak to what your government is having conversations around, or how do you deal with that element? Here in Gauteng, at some point there was a proposal that was made that the countries of origin where the undocumented foreign nationals come from must actually pay the health departments for the services rendered to their countrymen, fellow countrymen. What conversation is happening in the KwaZulu-Natal government about initiatives and proposals like those?
Well, we have not yet received information from the department to the extent as to how many are benefiting from our government services. However, it's a discussion, in fact, that I think is going to follow on the operations that we're making, because we're receiving calls from all over KwaZulu-Natal. Like in our operation, we'll be also proceeding to other areas. That is why we have said, so that it will not take long to address this issue. The municipalities, the mayors, local police stations, the local offices of Home Affairs, Department of Labor, and DSD, they must continue with the operations so as to ensure that we try and arrest this problem at the earliest possible time, so that we'll also understand the extent in which we have people who are undocumented here, and the extent in which they are benefiting from our services, so then that we will advance a discussion ways, even if it calls for us to elevate the problem to the national government, so that there will be in a process an issue of such engagements.
Yeah. Premier, just a final question. This is relating to Itala Bank, following the South African Reserve Bank's Prudential Authority's appearance before the Finance Committee in Parliament. So as it stands, the license remains suspended. But from the KwaZulu-Natal government side, how soon do you think you'd be able to get that license reinstated?
We have started a process to try and address issues which have been raised, because we realized that the approach previously was to contest the position of the Prudential Authority, or the PA. And we are saying, as the government of KwaZulu-Natal, what is important is the issue of compliance. That wherein compliance is indicated that we are supposed to attend to those elements of compliance is what we must actually do. We have had a meeting with the National Minister of Finance. We had a meeting with Dr. Villas, the CEO, and we are already in a process of engagements that will seek to find ourselves having Itala being compliant.
Yeah, and you're not too sure how soon that's going to happen?
Well, it's going to be a process. It's not going to be, in fact, in one meeting which will produce results. It's a process, because even when it comes to engagements, the engagements that we have had, there are quite a number. We are still continuing with to further our engagements, so as to ensure that we have Itala compliant with the PA.
Okay, thank you so much for your time. That is Thami Ntuli, who's the Premier of KwaZulu-Natal.